So got a question today from a client who's a boss at their own work. Have an employee who is constantly coming in late and doesn't see it as a problem. She wants to know what to do and how to take it into her own hands. She advised her own employee that with a verbal warning that he's going to be punished the next time, which naturally he didn't really care for and thought she was picking him out of the bunch and trying to punish him for something that's insignificant. So, is it? As an individual, showing up late is unacceptable. Think about it this way. You are spending the most precious resource we have, time, and not keeping what you promised. So from either end of the equation, you're taking away two different elements of trust. We only have so much time in our day and in this life, so it's the most precious commodity. If we say that we are going to be somewhere and make an appointment, make it a point to keep it. It is so incredibly frustrating from a personal training standpoint when I have clients running late. It's your time, sure, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to get better only being there for 20 minutes instead of 45 or an hour. Essentially, you are slapping whoever's time you are borrowing in the face. How's that feel? Oh yeah, I don't care about your time. I'll show up whenever I want. Unless you're a doctor, you may not be able to get away with this. So I asked her, why do you think he's showing up late? Is it a blatant disregard for the system? Does he not know that you have to be there at 9, not 9:30? Start there and get into the underlying cause. It could just be that we as people don't always know that you're rolling in at 9:05 isn't the same as rolling in at 9. Could just be that a simple message. Could just be he doesn't really care for the job and he's trying to act out. That will be a whole different conversation. What that will entail is removing our egos and asking him to do the same. When we show up, we're a team, and this team needs to be able to coordinate our efforts so in that way we're all towards the same goal. If you look at any sport, if two players are working opposite tactics, nothing's going to get accomplished as well as their uniform efforts to be able to push forward in the same direction. So having that conversation with a coworker to say, hey, what is going on? And then just listen. Funny how when it's silent, we think that something's wrong. Just listen. Hear, don't try and interject your own thoughts, processes. Just listen to what they say. Take it. Then once you process that, that's when you can make your observations about what you think, because you're being assertive with your thoughts. Now you can be able to say, hey, here's what is going to be done. That's great. Thank you for your time. But we understand that our job starts at 9 a.m. Be there or you'll get an actual warning and then hopefully nothing else will happen. Using these guidelines, we can have him build the habit to be able to show up on time, less obviously he does want to keep his job. Understanding the severity of the situation can provide that backbone, so in that way it's company policy, not you as an individual. Therefore, egos are removed completely, which for most people is why they don't like their boss. It's not the actual boss, it's the own individual ego that clashes and we find them to be abrasive. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need to be able to relay information that may not be the most easygoing, may not be the most comfortable conversation you want to have with a friend, coworker, whomever, make sure that you take the time to understand why. Take your own ego out of it, and then you'll have a better understanding of why their ego is in it. Done.